Well, James, almost a year since the Winnipeg Ice were on the ice together, but finally today a chance, and in of all places, Regina, as you settle in the Hub Center. What was the feeling as the boys stepped out there today?
So much anticipation, excitement, a bit of giddiness. Definitely to be back on the last ice that our team had been on, which was March 11th last year, and with all that's transpired, it was. It was a great feeling to be out there, and they had fun and they worked up a sweat. Put it that way.
I guess I'll back up and ask you about getting on the bus, because that's probably the first time you had the whole group together, and there must have been some real anticipation heading to the rink.
Well, we the first time we were together, I think, was we met today in the dorm, because we've all been in quarantine in our own room. So we met in the lobby of our dorm to go over for lunch. So that was kind of the first time we saw each other, and then we were in the lunchroom, all of us together. So it was, for me, it's great. We've been weekly and more than this last 6 weeks, 2, 3, 4 times a week having Zoom calls, and so daily for sure the last 3 weeks. So I'm seeing their faces, but to actually see them in person was awesome. And we all had masks on until we were able to eat and take our masks off. So, but it was the first time I saw Zach Benson in person, or Brant Young and Anderson McDonald. Carl Stankowski. So, there's a handful of new players that I had never met. So that was fun to see them. And, and then just to address them in the dressing room was awesome. It was, in my mind, we were practice, Josh and Ryan and I were putting together practice the last few days over Zoom. And I was wondering if I remembered how to coach and remembered, some of the drills, and thankfully we have our drill books, but it was fun to be able to stand up in the dressing room and go to the board and explain some drills and talk about some of the fine details that we try and harp on.
I know that Darius Harden's put a lot of work in with the guys over the last year or so, and in the build up to getting out on the ice today, they've had their own programs as well, and some of them working with their own trainers. But fitness-wise, are you just trying to get a sense of where they're at with these early skates?
Well, number one, I think for the whole year. When we finished in March, we probably took a month off, let them be, gave them their space, and then we got into our off-season programs that continued, May into September, and then things kind of started getting pushed back. But we had. Darius has had a program, I'd say if we looked at the 12 months, for sure 10 of the 12 months, and they've had to send in their fitness reports on a monthly basis. So we've been on top of that. Darius has talked to all their individual trainers. So we know a lot of our players have gotten bigger, they've gotten stronger. They've, some of the guys have put on size. Connor Geekie is, a totally different size-wise. Anson McMaster is, I want to say 25, 30 pounds heavier than when he left us. They're at that age. Some of the kids are, in that 17, 18, where some of them really sprout out. But for me, as far as on the ice today, everyone's been in quarantine for 2 weeks. No one has skated in 2 weeks. Previous to that 2 weeks, some of the, in a lot of the areas that, I'd say 3/4 of our team were in, no rinks were open, so only outdoor rinks were available. So we knew coming in today that we kind of had to gauge, kind of feel it out where they were, and certainly didn't want to cause any injuries. So, I'll tell you, it was a flow practice where we were kind of handling pucks and just striding it out a lot. We did a bit, we did one drill for about 10 minutes that was system related, but the rest of it was just feeling the puck, working on your hands and striding it out. And, what I would say, this is the first time I've ever told players that we're not going to go 100% full out. I'm not going to be barking at you to move your feet and skate, because, it wouldn't make sense. We've got to, we've got to pick up every day here. So tomorrow is going to be a little more intense. And, by the third and fourth practice, we'll be trying to ramp it up into full speed.
Quickly before I let you go, just a thought on the fact you guys are maybe a little bit more comfortable in your new environment. Do you feel a bit at home in the dorms now?
I think so. Today, now, was the first day that everyone's allowed to move freely in their room. Everyone has a kitchen and a central space, a living room. I know most of the guys have brought TVs that they could set up in there, and then they all have their own rooms. So it's a really nice facility. We got the cafeteria is probably 100 meters away, so it's not too far of a walk. And so I think not everyone's getting comfortable in their surroundings. Everyone was super excited to be able to get out of the room. It is a challenge, for young kids to be, basically in your bedroom for 7 straight days. You can go out and use the shower and use the bathroom, and that's it. So it was freedom, a lot of freedom for all of us today to get outside, experience some fresh air, and then get on the ice. And saying that with the facilities are excellent, and so we should be good.
Big step today. Congratulations. Enjoy it, and we'll talk again soon.
Okay, thanks, Mitch.